Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week. So Rachel, today we have an interesting subject for our discussion. We're talking about deepfakes. What do you think? Deepfakes and AI?
Well, give me a good definition of what it is.
A good definition of a deepfake? I think it's basically when someone's using AI technology to create images, videos, audio that is not real, but it's meant to look extremely real.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a lot of deepfakes about Donald Trump a few years back.
There was one of Barack Obama, wasn't there?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think sort of American sort of politicians are prime targets for deepfakes.
Yeah, and it's difficult for people to know these days. You know, the odd video, is it real or has it been created by AI? Have they transported somebody else's words into someone else's mouth, transposed somebody else's face?
Yeah, because I think AI, the technology, it can do quite amazing things nowadays.
Yeah, today, and yet what will it be able to do tomorrow? I know those 4 weeks when we didn't have access to ChatGPT because Italy was a bit questionable about the privacy.
Yeah.
When it came back online, I was shocked how much it had moved forward in just 4 weeks. So where on earth it's going to go, who knows?
Yeah. But that's ChatGPT. That's like a language sort of version. We're talking really about using the AI technology to create sort of videos and images. And we've got another article from the BBC, which is about a Ukrainian YouTuber whose videos have been sort of hijacked, but I think by somebody in China, and they're using her videos, making her speak a mix of Russian and Chinese to sell products.
Mm-hmm.
So she's basically, her videos have been hijacked. Her image has been hijacked.
They've been stolen.
Stolen, yeah. And someone's used AI technology to make her speak Chinese in a video, selling, I think, Russian cosmetics to Chinese people.
Wow.
Yeah. It's quite amazing technology.
Yeah. But why?
Well, obviously, these people are doing it for money, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, a cosmetic company? They were selling nuclear missiles or something. But it's just like, cosmetics.
Well, I don't think it's the cosmetics company that's doing it. It's obviously some YouTuber who's trying to sell cosmetics, perhaps.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does, I suppose it does sort of, pose the questions about, like what you were saying, where is AI going to go in, say, 5 or 10 years' time? Because what AI can do now seems to be almost science fiction like. How do you think it will affect, say, businesses and people's work in 5 years?
Well, I think it's like all new things. There's going to be some jobs that fall by the wayside because AI is going to replace them. But then there's going to be opportunities on the other hand, for things that can be developed quicker, faster, more efficiently. But it's just which jobs. I mean, my guess is the jobs that are going to go are the jobs where you don't really need a very good education. That's usually the jobs that go, isn't it? And,
Well, I wouldn't say
anything that can be automated.
Yeah, anything that can be automated. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, I've spoke to you about this before. I had a student who had a team of people coding. And he said he asked AI to prepare some code that would usually take one of his team, even the best of his team, maybe a week or so to do. And it did it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he said, well, the only problem he can think, that's great for business efficiency, but what happens when you get to the point where there's nobody there to teach coding? Because everybody just goes to AI and asks them. Because he said the best of his team has gone through a process of years of learning how to write code, how to write programs. And he said, if you're just asking AI for the code, you won't need to take on new recruits and train them up. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No one needs to learn how to code or use programming languages because the technology will do it for you.
But then there'll be a lost education, won't there? What if somebody pulls the plug? I mean, I know coding is particularly, electricity connected. You need a device.
Yeah.
But, is it going to get to the point where there's AI behind certain things that if you pull the plug, we're like, we don't know how to do things?
Yeah.
A bit like teenagers today don't understand the fact that years ago, when you wanted to find some information, you had to go to a library. And if they hadn't got the book, you had to order it, to reserve it, wait 2 weeks. Then they told you the book was in, and then you went and got it. And then there was probably somebody else waiting for the book. So you only had it for like 48 hours. And then you found out it was the wrong book because it didn't have the information in it that you needed.
So you had to order another book from the library. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. A lot of teenagers, not just teenagers, but people in their 20s wouldn't understand the need for a library in that context because everything's been online for so long now.
Yeah, they wouldn't understand what life is like without mobile phones, without the internet, without computers. When everything was done with pen and paper.
Oh, the good old days, you mean?
Filing cabinets. Do you remember you used to have rack after rack of filing cabinets?
Yeah. The good old days where you could, if you wanted to, you could lose a piece of paper with that vital piece of information that you didn't want anyone ever to see again. And you could lose it. Yeah. But nowadays you can't lose any information because it's always out there for people to find.
Yeah. It's traceable and trackable. And, oh, God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think you're right. The way sort of, the world has evolved with new technology. New technology has basically always automated processes, which has created problems for people working during those processes. Mm-hmm. But then technology has always found ways to create new jobs, like, for example, I think we spoke about this a few days ago. A few months back, I was reading some job adverts for companies recruiting in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And they were looking for AI prompt generators.
Yeah, you were saying this is going to be the job of the future.
Well, it's definitely one of the jobs of the future. If you can write ChatGPT prompts or AI prompts, there are some companies in Silicon Valley that are willing to pay crazy amounts of money to employ you. Yeah. We're talking like $300,000, $500,000 a year salary just for writing a prompt in an AI system. You're not going to Silicon Valley.
But why do you got to go to Silicon Valley? Why can't you work remotely?
Well, actually, yeah. There's no reason why you couldn't work remotely. Yeah, we don't need Silicon Valley. Yeah. Okay, we'll quit teaching and we'll become ChatGPT prompt writers.
Well, I'm just thinking, right, I'm doing a particular content job at the moment and I'm using AI to speed up the process. Yeah. I'm writing prompts and I was going to share some of that task with you.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons that this particular part of the task I'm not going to share with you is because I'm in a certain flow. It's almost as if I'm in a dialogue with the AI that I'm tweaking my prompt every time I pop it in to get the result. That if I pass it over to you, you won't have the history of the thinking and the conversation that I've had with AI.
Yeah.
So there's going to be less collaboration.
Oh, now that's interesting. Yeah. Or will there be more collaboration, but we would have to somehow work as a group or a team with the AI system? I mean, I agree with you. ChatGPT at the moment is basically one user and one prompt, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe it will develop a bit like, say, Microsoft Teams, where you can have multiple people.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So perhaps the team can all have access to the same prompts within AI.
Because like, as I've been typing the prompts in and getting the result, there's 3 key things I'm looking for on different topics. So I type the prompt in for the first 3, then I type the prompt in for the second 3, but I want the formatting and the style and the layout to be exactly the same as the first 3. And for some reason, ChatGPT is not giving me, it's giving me good results, but the format. So I'm having to remind it, this is an example of how I want you to, and I've taken the example from the answers it's previously given me, including them in the second prompt saying, follow this same format.
Okay.
And then when I'm writing the next one, maybe it's for a different level. So I'm having to add in things like, and can you write it in simpler English because this is for a lower level of class, blah, blah, blah. So it's tweaking the prompt every single time I type it in. But then if I had to pass on some of the task or share the task with you, I couldn't guarantee that your results would probably be good.
But they won't be the same as yours.
No, exactly, which will be a problem.
Yeah, I can see that, Yeah. So maybe that's the future. I mean, that's where these AI systems have to develop so that they can be used by multiple people at the same time. Yeah.
Will that work, though? They're going to have to test it, aren't they?
Well,
we'll test it. If anybody wants to pay us to test it, we are more than happy.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. And I would do it for less than $500,000 a year as well.
$499?
Yeah, okay. Deal. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but it is going to be amazing, I think, to look back in 10 years at how AI has developed and changed things.
Yeah.
For the good, but also for the bad. There is more and more news stories about how AI is being used for nefarious purposes.
Ooh, nice
and
word.
I love the word nefarious.
Sounds like, woo.
Yeah. So nefarious purposes like creating deep fakes, using somebody else's image to create videos for selling, cosmetics in a foreign country and things like that. Well, I mean, is there any way to stop it, do you think?
Well, it's all down to cybersecurity, isn't it? I mean, the girl in the article, what did it say? 4,900 videos had been generated using her face, and the company where these accounts had been set up, they blocked her image, but apparently their system had been hacked to create the unauthorized content. So, it's not just your system, you've got to be careful about what you put out there. So she was a YouTuber, so she put stuff out in the public domain.
Yeah. So
somebody obviously downloaded it, so she's going to have to stop it being downloaded. But then you can easily do a video playing on your screen.
Yeah, once you've put stuff on social media, it's out there for anybody and everybody to see. You can't stop people using it and sharing it.
I don't know. Is it an issue of copyright, intellectual property?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The lawyers must be rubbing their hands together.
I suppose so, but I suppose when it comes to things like this, we also have to think about international laws, because say she's maybe Ukrainian, but she's not living in Ukraine. I think she's living in Germany,
right? And
her image is being used in China and Russia,
who are not going to pay any attention to any legal claim that anybody makes. They're just going to go.
Yeah, but then, so which law has been broken and which countries' laws have been broken and things like that.
Yeah.
There are no international agreements about these kind of things.
People might say that the fact that she put her images up on YouTube, she was offering up her image for anybody to use it.
I suppose so. I don't know.
Copyright.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really don't know. It's going to be interesting to know what goes on with things like this. I'm going to try and follow this story as well and see where it goes, because apparently there are lots and lots of people whose images are being used in deep fake videos. So I'll be interested to know where it goes.
Obviously not a balding white English guy or a greying white English woman.
Well, you never know.
Always young people. There we go. Okay, well, I think that's enough for today.
Okay.
Good choice, that one, Paul. I enjoyed that conversation.
Interesting subject.
Yeah, let me know where it goes to.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.